The lights are off and away they go.
Extremely loose. He's managed to hold on and they get.
He missed the complete that. He's crazy.
As I said, Freitas is on the grass on the infield for 4. He slides through. He tags Richard.
Adam Tierney has been an AOR member since Season 4. His best championship finish is 7th. With 2/3 of Season 7 in the books, Tierney finds himself leading the points race. Apex Online Racing's Formula Renault 2.0 Championship comes to Sebring. It's round 9 of 12, and all the action from both the initial 40-minute feature and the 25-minute sprint that follows can be seen live as it happens here on the Global Sim Racing channel. From the Sunshine State, hello and welcome to GSRC's Countdown to Green. Way up in the press box to bring you our World's Eye view is Soup and Crackers. Yours truly, Phil Soups on, joined as always by Sean Crackers Ambrose. Amjad Yaman is our director, armed with cameras, located, aimed, zoomed, and focused by GSRC's camera guru, Dougie Beard. As cyberspace flows into your place over the next 15 streamy award-worthy minutes, GSRC will bring you all the storylines, all the stats and facts you'll need to fully appreciate the doubleheader Formula Renault 2.0 Championship event that will immediately follow. The last time the AOR was at Sebring was way back in Season 4, the same season our current point leader, Adam Tierney, debuted in the series. My old partner Richard Losper and I called Uni the Unit Slavasi to a feature race win as 22 of 28 drivers finished on the lead lap. Renee Osterkamp was able to grab the sprint victory. Crackers, Sebring's reputation precedes it and needs little introduction, but for those visiting our planet for the first time, how about you tell them about this place this afternoon?
You bet, Soup. You know, the Florida track's first race was a 6-hour enduro on a makeshift course marked by hay bales. Happened on the last day of 1950. Now, this Sebring International Raceway is a classic American circuit, and it's the host of the 12 Hours of Sebring Endurance Race that we see every year. This 3.7-mile road course with 17 turns runs in a clockwise manner. Yes, clockwise, around the clock. All right, now winners here have ranged from Fangio to Foyt, Fittipaldi to Gendebien, Garney to Gregg, Moss to McLaren to McNish. Just about every post-World War II racer of note has put in time here and won. In 1983, 87, 91, and 99, Sebring's owners repaved large portions of the track and revised the layout. As a result, the current lap length is down to 3.7 miles, but about 0.9 of a mile of the original course. Concrete still exists, and those transitions to the updated parts of the track maybe lend to a little bit of the bumpiness here. But to get an idea of what it's really like to get around the cathedral of American motorsports, let's hop on board the GSRC Formula Renault 2.0.
All right, we've got Amjad Yaman of the GSRC Formula Renault 2.0, so let's do a lap around Sebring. Coming up to turn 1, the bumps and lack of sightline from the inside wall are going to make this a terrifying prospect every time. Hit your brake marker and turn in point and try your best to keep her steady. Coming off the turn, it's important not to understeer into the dirt. Then quickly get lined up for turn 3. The inside curb here is very tall, so try not to hit it hard or you're likely to spin. From there, we're chucked into turns 4 and 5. A late apex out of 5 will be critical because it's going to be a long run to a heavy braking zone. Obviously, as we fly around Big Bend, this sweeper is flat out and effectively a straight. Hold left and get ready for the hairpin. This is going to be a popular passing spot, but be careful not to outbrake yourself if you're sending one up the inside. There's also a weird squiggle in the track while exiting the corner that can create chaos when drivers aren't given enough room, so be aware. After that, it's flat out once again through turns 8 and 9. Obviously, this makes for another great opportunity to overtake because up next is Cunningham. The downside is that if you can't get the overtake done in that corner, you'll find yourself too wide through Collier, which is never fun. This section is narrow and tricky, so a small mistake while battling it out can easily end your day. On top of that, it ends in a curved braking zone down into Tower. This right-hander has another one of those very tall inside curbs that messes with the car when you get aggressive. After that, swing back to the right so that you can open up the double apexer that is Bishop. It may be flat out, but the way that it leads directly into Jean Debien makes your line very important. As the track swings back and forth, try to get as far left as you can go for a good entry into Le Mans. This is probably the most critical corner of the circuit to get right. The run down the Holman Straight can make or break your lap time, or even offer a competitor an easy way to breeze by. Oh, and by the way, hopefully this roll bar cam view has given you a good sense of just how bumpy this circuit is. You'll see it especially as we come around Sunset. This hairpin has a kink on entry, which makes braking treacherous. The bumps make the line a toss-up between trying to hold the inside line or trying to keep the car steady. Whichever poison you choose, be careful to keep it off the wall as you exit. And as you come to the line, you've now finished a lap around Sebring.
I'm Jed on the wheel, Joe Peak on the mic, taking us around a track that confuses my wife when I describe it as flat but far from smooth, and of course, we're talking about Sebring. Now let's take a quick look at who was the big points earner last time out from Phillip Island. In a season festooned with did not start and finishes, Christoph Holstein for Formula Mini had his best points day of the season thanks to a feature win and a sprint sixth. Aperture's Phil Reed was a bonus point away from tying the best result. Like Holstein, Infinity's Josh Thompson's season has been littered with non-starts and non-finishes. The top Tier 2 driver was SimRC Prime's Patrick Kessler. The cousin SimRC B team was Tim Bertie in sixth. So, how did that affect the championship points? And keep in mind that these are raw totals. They do not take into account the drop races that the rules allow for. With Reed and Bertie on the previous overlay and Tierney not so, the interval between the three drivers logically got a little smaller. Red Devil's Christian to Catch fell to the bottom of the chart, making room for the flying Frenchman Jean-Francois Godin to swoop into fourth. Let's go over and look at the Tier 2 championship. And the force here is Force Fissy. The Orange Viking Canoe Martinson climbs 2 spots to the lead, 4 points ahead of his teammate Evan Really Tough Imre. Ty McLeod slides down into third. Kessler had a great day at Sebring, but the Tier 2 scoring system that compares each Tier 2 driver against each other Tier 2 driver kind of lessens that point impact. Apex Racing UK Scott Newton is well back in fifth. Finally, to the team championship where the left side all hold station. The surprise team there being the aforementioned Force Fissy in third. Welcome back to the overlay Equip Normandy, powered by Alexander Miriloso and Hugo Pinier. Now, the AOR is always picking up new viewers. For those joining us for the first time, where you been? Here's Crackers with the series and race details.
Yes, Soup. Series details here today. Well, let's welcome everyone here to round 9 in season 7. Now, 12 rounds this season, and you do get 2 drops. That 1 drop basically equals 1 feature race and 1 sprint race. So there are 2 races per each event. So every Friday we've got 2 for you, the feature race and the sprint. The setups are open, carefully prepared by these drivers and held very close to the vest, Soup. Everybody wants to be the fastest, obviously. The weather, let's talk about that a little bit today, because it's really slick out there. It's 104 degrees on track. It's clear. Now, it's only 77 degrees, but again, it's 104 degrees on track. A little bit of wind. It's gusting anywhere between about 7 and 10 miles an hour, so it could be a bit of an issue. This is a tough track to find grip on. There really aren't any trees. You see some trees there on screen, but there's not a lot that knocks the wind down here. It could get these Formula Renault 2.0s a little unstable soon. Now, why don't we talk about today's race details? This is the first race, 40 minutes. We are qualifying now, lone qualifying session here, and that will set your grid position. Pit stop. We will need 1 pit stop to get this race done. The first 40 minutes, not enough fuel on board to do that. We usually see that around the second half of the race, somewhere in that 2/3 point of the race. They'll come into the cap, 16 X's. Anything contact off track, cutting the course, that picks up incident points, and you don't want to exceed that. Sebring a place that you could definitely pick up incident points quick. So we'll see here in the feature race if anybody's going to struggle with that. No fast repairs. You got to run what you brung, and the points pay standard through the 20th spot.
And as we look at qualifying going on right now, at the top is our points leader, Adam Tierney. Christoph Holstein, there's some familiar names that we saw in the results from Phillip Island up there doing well. Lubomir Morris also sitting third right now. Now, Sean, honey, are you paying attention? I'm going to try this one more time. This place was built at an airport, so they don't like mountains. So the track, there's not a lot of elevation change, which makes sense because airplanes don't like mountains when they're trying to land. But, Sean, you were out there racing. The surface, though, very bumpy.
Yeah, Soup. It's pretty bumpy around here. Now, the bumpiest and scariest part is actually one of the hardest parts of the track to begin with, and that's Sunset Bend, the very last turn, 17 and 18. Very, very tough getting through that carousel because there just doesn't seem to be a smooth spot all the way through there. If you can find that line, if you can find that lane to get through without any bumps in it, then you've found the special line. I did not, sir, in almost 2 hours of practice. I did not find that line. This will be a lot of fun today, buddy, because down the backstretch, the Ullman Straight, you'll see some slingshotting, some NASCAR style slingshotting going on there, and a lot of drafting. And the trip into Sunset is so wide. There's so many different lines you could take through there. We could see 3, 4, 5, maybe even 6 wide with these Formula Renault 2.0s. We'll see who has the nerve to send it in there deep. But yes, the bumpiness of this track going to be a big factor today, especially when you talk about getting out of turn 3 and 4 up through 5 and into Big Bend. It gets very bumpy down there. It gets bumpy down into the safety pin there, turn 7. Tower is generally a problem. Getting through there, it's very bumpy there. So lots to watch out for. Our heads will be on a swivel today, buddy.
Now the Flying Frenchman finds himself up in second, Jean-Francois Gaudin. You know, Sean, incident cap, sometimes it's a big factor, sometimes it's a non-factor. We've seen where we've lost, a half dozen drivers that have maxed out on the cap. What do you think here about Sebring? Something we have to worry about?
Yeah, no, I think it's a definite concern. As I said just a few minutes ago, a lot of spots here where you can get off course or be considered cutting the course. I don't know if contact will be as big a factor, and maybe at the very beginning of the race, but I think you will have to watch a couple of, one place that's really easy to get caught out on and pick up off track is Le Mans, turn 16, heading to the Ullman Straight. That's a tough one to get right because it's a very fast right-hand turn, but a lot of potential to run out too far to the left, or if you're turning in early, cutting that corner off and picking up not only a slowdown penalty, but the points for going off course.
Seems like every track we go to, every pit lane is always unique, and Sebring's no different. This one presents a few challenges.
It does, Soup. First of all, it's a long one. You've got a long front straight. That basically it's all pit lane. When coming out, even trickier. You're up to speed pretty quickly coming out, and you're spilling on to basically a blind entry. Cars coming up quick at full speed on your left. It will be a tough proposition for this field today. You need to keep an eye on your relative and try and pay attention to where everybody is on track while you're trying to manage to make that left-hander back onto the track and picking up speed down into turn 2.
Since we've been talking about the track, Kerry Nolden works his way up into third spot ahead of Phil Reed. Christoph Holstein was a lot higher when we started. He's fallen down to 5th. And, of course, Adam Tierney, which has really seemed to lock into a groove. Early on, Sean, the first part of this season was all about him just getting podiums and top 5s. But lately, not only has he been consistent, although he's had a couple bad races as well, but he has been fast. And here's another example of it today.
Soup, he was fast in practice, and now he's top of the board. In qualifying, Adam just seems to have this track dialed in a bit. Good on him. This is a tough one to figure out. 158 looks to be the magic number today. If you can run somewhere in the 158s, you're probably going to have a pretty good chance to contend today here at Sebring.
29 drivers have been able to post a qualifying time. It looks like we had, in practice, we were able to have 30 drivers put in at least a practice time. A couple guys that we haven't seen out there at all. Enric Andre, his name is on the list, as is Scott Newton, but they have yet to make a lap. Yet to turn a lap in practice or qualifying, so maybe it's not going to be their race today. We're about at the back third of this series. 12 races in the season. We've got 8 in the book. That's 4 left, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Adam Tierney sits at the top of the points, looking to pick up his first championship as an AOR member. Kerry Nolden and Jean-Francois Gaudin sit second and third in qualifying right now. They may have something to say about that. Let's go to the grid. As I mentioned, Adam Tierney and Jean-Francois Gaudin make up the front row.
Row 2, going to be Kerry Nolden and Phil Reed.
Coming off a win last time, Christoph Holstein, Ty McLeod, our top Tier 2 driver in 6th.
Row 4, Rene Osterkamp, Christian Tkech.
Patrick Kessler and Lubomir Morris behind them.
Okay, row 6, going to be, where am I at? Sorry, row 6.
Top of the
Andrew
graphic.
Greenhall and Evan Imre. Sorry about that.
We're not going to get our GSR's compensated bonus if we keep this up. Manuel Hoyer and Sarah Dove, 13th and 14th.
Tom Van Hoyman, Eunice Fastamaki, they're in 16th.
The Orange Viking, Knut Martinson, and 17th, Stefan Herman behind him.
Row 10, Bruno Dometer, Stephen Larkamp.
Hidden Blackjack, Jerunde Cortel, Scott Newton in 22nd.
Hugo Cagnier, Ziv Sade in 12th.
Lee Robinson and the quarter-century mark, Daniel Morris, outside of him.
Alexis Merloso in 27th, and Silvio Hurt, 28th.
Casper Thron, flanked by Justin Clausen.
All right, and let's see. We've got...
Are they there?
Enric Andre, Harrison Finch, and Alexander Waldo.
I see Finch and Waldo out there. Andre, though, I'm worried he's not actually going to take a spot. Looks like we're going to have 32 cars take the grid right now, led by our points leader and pole sitter, Adam Tierney, as he looks to pick up his first championship. Everybody giving out their good lucks right now as we work on round number 9. 2 events on tap today. The 45-minute feature that will involve a pit stop, then a short break. We invert the lead lap cars, and we come back for a 25-minute sprint. The engines start to harmonize. Gather up the chickens, take cover behind the cows, because the horses are out of the barn. And it is Adam Tierney who leads them down into the sweeping left-hander of this clockwise track. In second is Jean-Francois Gaudin. Nolden has a nose inside. Phil Reed now side by side with Nolden, rounding at your top 5, watching the whole thing happen in front. Christoph Holstein.
3 wide, coming into turn 2. Watch out.
Oh my goodness, it is a parade of cars, 2 by 2 by 2, but so far they've all managed to get through the 3, 4, 5 complex. Now they're into the big bend, which is more of a straight. Pulling away out in front are the leaders who have really making a move. Oh, a challenge down into the safety pin. This is Gaudin making a move on the outside. Tierney able to fend him off as Tierney took the defensive line into corner 7.
Boy, look at a bunch of them going 3 wide through there. Someone got into each other. A little wheel hop back there. Couple cars off. It's Ziv Sade and Casper Thron together. Battle for the lead already, Soup.
Up in front for our lead as they continue to battle each other side by side. You see it right there. Still out in front, Tierney now being challenged for second. That's Nolden. Here comes Reed with a run as they go through Bishop. Reed is going to move up into 3rd position. Nolden drops back to 4th. Holstein, who has put almost a second back to the next driver in 6th. Osterkamp, McLeod, Kessler, Greenhall, and Hoyer. Cugnier, well, maybe we can get this when we come back. Cugnier just had a spin, was tapped by Alexander Waldo. Those guys are going to probably end their day. Both those guys were racing well back in the pack. Now I hear Bruno Dometer yelling out something as well.
Yeah, we talked about that incident with Cugnier. That involved Waldo, too. Waldo was the one that got into him when he spun. That's a shame. That heavy damage for Waldo's car.
Let's go to second. This is quite a battle right now. Gaudin being challenged by Reed as they, again, all the excitement is for 3, 4, and 5. Usually that's single file racing in there, but they can't quite seem to get the pass made going into 1. Then that carries over all the way into 3, 4, and 5. Now they single out through Big Ben. Watch the run. Oh my goodness, that car. Reed had a great run on the back of Godin, but Godin is going to be in the defensive line as they go through the hairpin, which we're calling here at GSRC the safety pin. That's the new name for this corner. They backed it up, so it's a little safer for him to go through, and that's been the nickname that we found out. Here he comes again. Reed making a move this time. Reed's going to have the preferred spot. I think he's going to be able to finish this deal.
Hey, Soup, you know who is in the field?
Oh, it's been, wait, we got to go back. It is Holstein. Got into it with McLeod. Those guys were running about 5th and 6th at the time. I think Holstein just got loose, trying to stay off the back of Nolden.
Yeah, no, he hit Nolden. that's what got him loose, unfortunately. And boy, that man, what a mess there.
And then a few more cars involved behind as well. So those guys were racing just outside the top 5. Phil Reed now has had an issue. Not sure if he had a slowdown penalty. Yeah, he served it way off the racing line. I believe he picked one up. So now Reed falls back to 6 spots as he lets Nolden go by.
Okay, we got to go back to 15th place now. Enric Andre, the Flying Frenchman, is in the race, Soup, and he's come up 16 spots already. He just passed Dometer and McLeod like they were standing still, and he is really on the hammer. Oh! Who was that he got by there? That was Van Hoyman sitting there on the exit of Sunset.
And Dometer clips him at the very end. Stay on this one. Now watch, he's there, and then here comes Dometer. Just gets a piece of him and sends him around a little bit more.
Yeah, Dometer with heavy left front wing damage now because of that.
So is Andre involved in that one, or did he get out? I guess he got out clean, huh?
He got through that. Yeah, he just missed him. And he is now just putting distance between him. Now Finch passes Dometer. Dometer, a sitting duck with the damage he's got on his Formula Renault now. Oh, boy, and Scott Newton with trouble right in front of Enric Andre.
Yeah, this is where the action is right here at this little train going on.
Well, the Flying Frenchman is flying, baby. 18 spots now gained in 13th already, Soup.
Look back here, a car making a move, yeah, and he got lost. Boy, he was diving. That was Cortel. Jerome De Cortel, he dive bombed the car. He was trying to get 2 or 3 drivers at one time. Then the car spun on him. He's got it going again. Let's go ahead and see if a replay on this one. This could have been a big disaster. Watch him take this car in. Hotter than desert sand. And it got loose right in front of that, and he keeps it going. We are back live. Let's catch our breath and show you what's going on up front. Things have really settled down up there. Adam Tierney about 1.5 seconds ahead of Godin. He's got about a second on Kerry Nolden. My gosh, Sean, up front, it seems so peaceful. Osterkamp and Kessler, the top 5.
Jonas Fostamaki, yep, runs it out way too wide coming out of Sunset, and he slaps it.
And honestly, I think Manuel Hoyer might have had a little target fixation as well. I think he got it right behind him. Here's Vastamaki. Boom, and then right behind you can see the other car on the grass. That's Hoyer.
Yeah,
he was right behind him. I think he just followed him right into the wall.
And to his credit, Vastamaki doesn't lose any position there. He holds on to 7th. He is up 9 spots already, moving up quick through the field. Got a little ways to go to catch Phil Reed, though. And right now he's got to defend against Christian Tkach.
Just to follow up on Enric Andre, he must have jumped in right before the green flag came out. I really didn't think he was going to make it.
I think you're right, Soup. I think he jumped in just at the last moment there.
Well, you know what he was doing? He wanted to take as long as he could to make sure you and I got our commentators' bonus for getting through the grid.
Now, I will say he's got a little bit of damage on the right front wing. It's bent up just a bit. That could affect him some. But what a great drive he's got going here. He's chasing Sarah Dove up a couple spots herself.
Let's stay on this a bit because this is a nice run. See Dove racing in 12th position. She started 14th, as Sean just mentioned. She's trying to chase down Emery and one of our rookies, Lubomir Morris, up in 10th. This is really the best action going on a little farther back in the pack where we're watching right now. You can see they're bunched up. Oh, there's a great Dougie Beard camera angle as they all come at you. Peeking out there. Is that Andre, Mick? Yeah, I think it was. Andre looking out. Oh, that's Newton who got around him, had a run. Let's jump up. I got another one. Let's go up to Vastamaki. Not sure this car is healthy right now. This is for 7th. And here comes the Red Devil racer of Christian Tkach, I think, who's going to try just to power around the outside of 1. Vastamaki doing his best there, side by side. One more time, Sean. The action into 3, 4, and 5. More. Boy, look at that. And Vastamaki holds him off.
Boy, Tkach almost gets run over there by Manuel Hoyer just behind him.
Not sure how much straight line speed Jonas has. Here they come down into the hairpin.
Soup, I know he brushed that wall in Sunset, but I gotta be honest, I'm not seeing really any or much damage on the right side of that car. I think he got away with one there, bud. Well, yeah, Tkach doesn't want him to get away with anything. Here he goes, trying to take position now.
Coming into Cunningham, and he'll have to do it on the outside. Boy, they continue to race. Look at that. Who's going to get the power down the best? Watching the whole thing is Hoyer. Through tower. Now
Hoyer.
for that inside line. Here comes Hoyer. Vastamaki had that tight line, couldn't get it down. Hoyer's going to pick up that spot as well. This is not over yet because here comes one of the hot shot rookies, Lubomir Morris, behind, racing in 10th. And it won't be long until the Rolling Thunder Emery gets there as well. Once Tkach was able to get around Vastamaki, he's been able to leave them behind. We can stay on this battle. This is probably the best on the track right now, at least for the guys running near the front.
Oh,
okay.
Boy, Hoyer all over Tkach. Or I'm sorry, Vastamaki all over Hoyer.
Yeah. And Hoyer kind of, look at this, he's going to take... Well, that's the line. You go out there and then you come across, Vastamaki backs up, and here comes Morris. That's some good racing going on there. Leading the train in 7th is Christian Tkach. He's got about 3.5 seconds to get up to Reed.
Scott Newsom just got around Sarah Dove. Here comes Enric Andre. He's attacking out of turn 5 here, down in a big bend. He's going to set Sarah up here, going down into the safety pin. Let's see.
Let's see if Dove stays to the right and defends or moves to the left. I know Sarah, she just races her line. If you're fast enough, you can have it. And sure enough. Okay, so the Frenchman gets one more spot up into the Baker's Dozen spot. Next on his hit list, Scott Newton. Let's go back up now to the 8th position battle. This is a Hoyer being Vastamaki. Sean, he wants that back.
Agreed, Soup. He's pushing a lot.
He's not happy that Tkach got around him and then he lost to Hoyer as well.
You know, we are totally ignoring one of the birds in this field.
Okay, I know what you're talking about. What's up?
We are ignoring the Finch. We are ignoring this run Harrison Finch has got. He's got Sarah right in front of him. Finch up 17 spots. Soup currently in 15th place, and he's still coming.
Oh, and right in front of him, Enric Andre, who spun.
Oh, no, that wasn't good. He's going to get out too far to the left.
That's going to end his day. Maybe a nice we can look at that on board from Larkamp. When we see this one, I thought he was going to roll right into Steven in 15th. Look at this. Well, Sean, it can go sour on you that quick.
Yeah, it can. That's a shame. Well, Enric, had put in so much work early in this race.
Now look how far back Larkamp is here, and then the car bounces out, and it really looks like he's going to roll out into him. Oh, but he gets plenty of room. No problem, Soup. Had it all the way, Stefan says.
Now, while we were checking that out, Soup, Finch gets past Dove.
Uh-oh, Phil Reed has had an issue. Remember, he was running up front. He had that slowdown penalty, and now he's lost it all on his own.
Makes slight contact. I think he's going to be fine, Soup. He's going to lose a lot of spots because of it, but I think he's going to be okay.
That's about as gently as you can put the right rear tire into the tire barrier. But he falls all the way back to 12th position. In fact, he falls into the clutches of the birds, into the talons of Finch.
There's just so much we can do with that Soup.
We look at that there. You can see Finch and Dove running 13th and 14th. Go ahead, Sean.
The rookie has been strong. And, you know, this entire rookie crop that they brought in this season has been solid, Soup.
Yes, absolutely. As we look on there, Finch and the matching paint that I'm seeing, Director, in that kind of yellow and black machine. Yeah, positive. Looks like a new team for Harrison.
Yeah, Soup. That's actually kind of like a neon green and blue. Oh, trouble for Hoyer and coming out of Sunset.
Oh,
gets a new, but yes, Vastamaki. And boy, Scott Newton just barely got around that. Watch this here. You're going to see Hoyer start to lose it, and Vastamaki got nowhere to go here.
Nowhere to go. That was Hoyer got loose definitely in front of him. Oh, my goodness. A great job of racing from Scott Newton.
Yeah. Newton has not had well, position would say otherwise, but here, watch this. Newton's not had a lot of luck here. He's struggled a little bit, but when I tell you where he's at and how many spots he's up here, he just gets by that. That put him 14 spots up and now in 8th place. So he has had some trouble, though, and that's what's even more impressive about the ride that Scott Newton's having right now.
Well, speaking of Scott Newton, he's got trouble now because here comes a man with some steam coming out of his ears. Phil Reed right behind him. Reed is able to vulture his way up and get around some cars on the track as well, but he's up to 9th. Remember, he had fallen all the way back to, I think, about 14th position. He was back there racing somewhere near Sarah Dove, so he's picked up a few spots, and now he'd like to get that back. Reed was all the way up. I had him up to 3rd. A slowdown penalty. Oh, and there's a mistake from Newton, and Reed gets that spot. What's going on up front, you may ask? 2.5 seconds. Tierney racing away from Jean-Francois Godin, Nolden, Osterkamp, and Kessler. Nobody within 25 car lengths of each other. We have not seen a legitimate pit stop yet. I'm looking at Ty McLeod has come in and out. I'm not sure if that was scheduled.
Yeah. No, it was not, Soup.
Remember, McLeod, the leader of all the Tier 2 drivers. Go, buddy.
Daniel Morris did come in. He just now back out from his pit stop. That could be scheduled.
Scott Newton coming in as well. And Vastamaki. Okay. So here, I think it's starting to open up.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think the window is officially open. And we're probably going to start seeing a lot of drivers start to follow suit here in the next couple laps.
Well, let's give a little love to somebody you haven't talked about. Let's go back to 16th position. Alexis Moraloso. He's trying to run down Justin Clausen.
Good luck. Clausen, all he's done is pick up spots since the green flag dropped.
I'll say.
Yeah, I mean, look at this. Clausen coming all the way from the back of the field, Soup. 15 spots now in 15th. Alexis Moraloso chasing, but Rob, based on that last lap, Moraloso was a little bit faster. He can get there, but can he get around? We'll see what Clausen leaves there available for him.
We have some really good runs from the back. Andre was having that great run. How about Finch? Again, you talked about it. He is just flying, and then Clausen as well.
Yeah, Finch is still picking up spots, man. I mean, every time I look up, he's passing another car. Trouble for Sarah Dove. Oh, no. What happened?
Oh, she made a mistake, and then it looks like she's going to get her left front wing banged up a bit. What corner was it? Was that Tower, I guess that was at. Then she gets it back out.
Just spins it at the Tower and crunches the front of it. Here we are back live. She's still struggling with that.
And as things happen, then she falls back into the battle here we were looking at. This is Clausen going to get this move done. So one more spot for Justin.
I'd imagine Sarah's going to bring it in here.
Yeah. Leaders of all the cars who pitted, Scott Newton currently in 17th. He had a 3.9 second stop. 28 seconds cone to cone. And sure enough, Sarah's going to bring it into the nest. Get her front wing fixed.
All right, Soup, I'm being told here in the chat that Finch's points will actually go to Formula Micro. He's just running that PSR livery on the car.
Probably something contractual there that he had to do.
Kind of similar to how I'm saying here, Adam Tierney runs for Radicals, but still races for Formula Mini. So
let's go to second. Look who's come in here. A couple former champions. Got a little bit closer here. This is Kerry Nolden running down Jean-Francois Godin. Now, I do love the paint scheme on that new team Flying Frenchman. I love those French colors and Flying Frenchman on the side of it. Really good to look at. Kerry Nolden. This is a battle for second. Nolden has been able to run him down. Their last lap time, Godin put in a 58.7, Nolden a 58.6. That's only 0.2 of a second faster. But Nolden has the best lap of the race.
Soup. Benjamin Franklin, revered in the French culture, by the way. Don't know if you knew that.
Yeah. Yeah, he was a fan of French culture and French women.
We'll just leave it right there. That's good.
Just telling it like it is.
All right, Soup. We're just under 20 minutes to go. It's probably going to be time for some of these guys to start coming down. Imre, here we go. Imre being followed by Jeroen de Cortel. Who's next? Next. Alexis Merloso is in next.
And it looks like Imre is... Well, my timing and scoring says he was in for 2 seconds. That cannot be... That's a really fast stop. All right, we have a little bit better now. 4.6 is what we're hearing. Sometimes things are a little goofy. Scott Newton, though, able to get around all those guys. Newton's still the leader of all the cars who pitted, now in 13th. That battle for second has cooled off a bit as I think the Flying Frenchman started to feel the pressure. And he put the flaps back down and has started to run away with it now.
Kind of like a Concorde on the runway here. It's getting ready for liftoff as he heads down the Ullman Straight.
Let's drop back about 3 spots to our top Tier 2 driver, Patrick Kessler, racing in 5th. Kessler had a great run last time. He was the best Tier 2 driver last time out. And right now he is leading all the Tier 2 drivers well ahead of Evan Imre, who is racing in 12th position. But the way they do the scoring, I talked about it, they take out all the Tier 1 drivers out of there, so Kessler will get first place points, and Tierney will get second place points, even though they're separated by almost 8 drivers between them. It's a fun way to score.
Oh boy, I'll tell you what, we may have a battle here for 10th real soon. Stefan Herman being chased by his fellow rookie, Steven Larkamp, just behind him. These two having a little bit of fun. Larkamp going to look, he backs off as they head down into turn 1.
Sean, you talked about the rookie crop. Here's two drivers that just continually, every race seem to get just a little bit better. Boy, they're going to have a great Season 8. We certainly hope GSRC is back to cover that one. We look at this battle with Stefan Herman and Larkamp. Herman started in 18th. He's fallen. He's up 8 spots. Larkamp started 20th, up 9 spots.
Yeah, and you know what? Larkamp's been a good follower here for quite a bit, but just seem to get the feeling that a move is coming here and coming real soon, maybe before the pit stop.
It's kind of nice if you can get ahead of the guy that if you're worried about being behind him down pit lane. You like to be in control of your own destiny. You like to be in charge of your pit that drive into the cones. Make sure you can get the most speed out of it. Let's stay on this a bit more. This is a good challenge. Sean, this has been an unusual race for us. We've actually been able to follow some of the racing for an extended amount of time. The drivers have done a good job of behaving, and we get to watch a race for more than a corner.
It's true. Very true, Soup.
Look at this. Here comes Larkamp. Boy, he's got a good run. Don't know if there's anywhere to go through here through 15, but I think he's in good shape. If he can get a run out of Le Mans, loses a little bit. He's about 2 car lengths back. It's all about getting an exit out of there. Boy, I'm used to calling the MX-5s where the Ullman straight is a lot longer. Not quite as long in these Formula Renault cars. Here comes the run. Nope. Then he's going to negotiate. They both negotiate sunset. Corner that has more bumps than Tony Montoya's desk.
I see what you did there.
There it goes. We're in Florida. Check out Scarface if you haven't seen that.
Stefan Herman is in. So,
that's a Florida-related.
But I love that you said Montoya.
It's what is it? It's
Montana. Montana.
Oh, it's a Montana. Okay.
Yeah. Now, although Pablo Montoya is synonymous with Florida and his problems with jet dryers, but anyway.
Check out Scarface, boys and girls, if you haven't seen it. Good movie. Top 5, I'll run him down for you real quick. It is Adam Tierney, who's beginning to get pulled in a little bit. Let's take a look at this. Tierney's now only a second ahead of Godot. Nolden back in there as well. That's closing the gap a little bit.
I think it's going to be all about the pit stop.
I do.
These 3, to be honest with you.
Osterkamp been really quiet in 4th, and Kessler in 5th. How about that SimRC team there, that racing 4th and 5th right now with Osterkamp and Kessler?
Great run by those two.
Yeah.
Indeed. It's all been positive.
All right, let's see. Here comes Tierney. Let's see if anyone's going to bite this time around. It's not Tierney, not Godot. Kerry Nolden's going to go in. Will any of the top 5? Osterkamp says not yet. And let's see what Kessler does. I would imagine Kessler and Osterkamp probably will do it at the same time. They probably have that all worked out. So Nolden comes in for 5th. Don't think that Scott Newton has any chance to get there. Newton, the leader of all the cars who have pitted, just working out of Le Mans down the Ullman straight now. And Nolden is rolling, and it looks like he's going to cycle out behind Harrison Finch. Sean, pit exit, kind of tricky here. You got to make sure you got traffic in there. You really can't see sometimes when you come out where everyone is.
You can't. You really can't see it all. You really just need to be watching your relative. If you've got a virtual track map up with all the other cars on track, then maybe you can refer to that a little bit. But not much to see there. It's pretty blind, and like I said in the pre-race, they're coming at full speed down to that turn. So the closing rate, absolutely insane.
We're looking at Stefan Larkamp there. Ty McLeod was in and out, but he's had a 10-second stop. He's the leader. Well, actually, Patrick Kessler is still the leader of all the Tier 2 drivers. Our top rookie right now, Lubomir Morris, a fan favorite. Lubomir gives a good interview, doesn't he, Sean?
He certainly does, Soup. Yep. Boy, Soup, right now, I'm anxiously awaiting these drivers to take that pit stop.
Here they come.
Yeah, there's Tierney.
Godin is in. I got to think that the SimRC drivers will come in as well. So does Osterkamp and Kessler. Now, this is interesting, though. This is the first one that really matters here. These guys have to be quick. Nolden was legitimate on his stop. Nolden had a 4.3 second stop. Was cone to cone 27 seconds. He is just coming around sunset right now.
Yep, here he comes. Finch sneaks in there also. Nolden going to pick up all these spots.
Tierney coming out. Godin ahead, and there comes Nolden full steam. But my goodness, you know, Sean, it's all going to come out just about the way when they went in. Tierney about 0.8 of a second ahead of Godin. Nolden right behind, so the top three. Osterkamp and Kessler, the two SimRC drivers, come out in their order. To catch in 6th. I'll just run down the rest of the top 10 while I'm doing this.
All right, buddy.
Phil Reed has worked his way up to 7th after a couple miscues. Our top rookie, Lubomir Morris, in 8th. Scott Newton having a great run, up 12 spots in 9th. And finishing up the top 10. Sean, why don't you take it from here? This is a good battle. This is Imre and Finch.
Yeah, Evan Imre, Finch going at it right now. Finch lost a little bit there in the pit lane, lost a spot. He's trying to get it back.
Got him. Thank you very much. Oh, look at this, though. Fighting back. That inside line. He didn't get a great exit out of the hairpin.
Nope.
Imre trying to get him back, and there's enough room here that he might be able to try it into Cunningham. Again, we're fortunate. Let's stay on this a bit more. This is one of the rare times we can stay with a battle for any length of time. I'm not sure, though, how much Imre has for him. Finch is really good.
Sure seems that way, doesn't it, Soup?
Yeah. You can see him start to itch away. Now, Sean, these are open setups, so sometimes the cars, even though they're identical cars, obviously, they don't handle quite the same, depending if you're high downforce or low downforce. Let's see what they got through 16. Oh, I like the run Imre has. Let's see. Oh, don't know if the car's going to have the straight line speed to get there.
Doesn't appear to have it, Soup. It seems to run out just about the last couple 100 feet.
And so Reed has come in, and Morris has come in, and they're both talking to each other. Morris says, "I followed you." I'm not quite sure what happened there.
Neither am I, Soup, but I'm trying to find it now.
Maybe a black, maybe a penalty, and Morris saying, "I followed you," and maybe they had to serve it on a pit exit. They had been out there. They'd only been racing for, I don't know. That was their outlap. So I think both of them got a speeding penalty, and that's what Lubomir was saying was, "I was just following you." That's what I tell the policeman when he pulls me over for speeding. Just going with traffic.
Well, that's going to cost both of them heavy,
Yep.
Unfortunately. You know, Larkamp and Del Quartel is still a really good battle, Soup. Larkamp is now the guy that holds position in 10th. Quartel now the driver that wants to take it away from him. Two pretty evenly matched drivers here.
That's a good one. Let's stay on this for a while. There's a couple I've been watching. Right up ahead, we won't go there. Finch and Imre is still in it. And then the top 3, I have to be careful. Somebody's going to sneak a pass for a position up here if I'm not careful. Right now, they're all about 10 car lengths apart. Let's ride on board with Dick Quartel. Oh, I love this roadkill camera. It really gives you the the feeling of speed here.
Yeah, it also lets you know just exactly how close he is.
Here he comes.
Going to make that move around.
Nothing but clear track ahead of him now. Can he finish the job?
Or will Sunset finish him?
Yeah, he got so many racing lines in here. I never know if the pass is finished or... Look at this, because you can go in shallow and you can exit late. You can come in wide and exit tight. Larkamp's trying to prove that case. Now he gets to the outside. Larkamp looking to have a good entry into one. Is there room for Decourtel to get over? Not all the way. Decourtel not confident that he had him cleared. Larkamp follows him through one. This is two, which really isn't much of a corner. Then they get into three. And it looks like this is going to be okay. But let's stay, because there's another opportunity. Out of five. Through Big Bend. Sean, this has got to be flat out, right? Through here, through six.
Yes, indeed, Soup, it is. You're on it here.
Doesn't look like Stefan has anything for Decourtel.
Ty McLeod.
Vostamaki just got loose right in front of Lubomir Morris. Now, Vostamaki was racing in 15th. Remember, he had to make that pit stop. Oh, I'm sorry. Morris had to make that pit stop. That's why he was so far back.
Boy, it looks like the curb was the villain there. Eunice just gets a little bit too close to it, gets next to it, gets the tire up on top of it, and it sends his car around. And I believe... Okay.
You can hear the flamingos of Florida in the background have landed on top of the booth there. Get off of there! There we go. You know, you see birds. We got already enough birds out there with Finch and Dove. Let's check in our leaders real quick. This is, I hate to leave away from Harrison Finch, but this is Tierney. He's got 0.7 of a second on Godin, who's got about 0.8 of a second on Nolden. They just continue to race close enough to make the commentator nervous that he's going to miss a pass for the lead. What do you think, Sean? Are they just waiting? They got 5 minutes. It's time to start racing, right?
It really is, Soup. It's time to start racing indeed. Boy, you know, I don't know, man. It's you may have to get through somebody to win this thing today. I don't know. Maybe just as they sit is the best way to get through the end of this race.
Keep in mind that they race in the same order that they qualify. Yeah. That's Bull, Center, and Godin, and then Nolden. Go ahead.
Yeah, Tierney's just been awful good today. Borderline awful great. Yeah. And that goes back to practice. But I don't think they can pass him right now unless he just totally messes it up. And he hasn't shown any propensity of doing that here today.
They head down into 16. Now, if Sean, you've been is Godin close enough to get a tow here? It looks like he's about 8 or 9 car lengths back. I don't know if that's close enough.
It
seems like a long way.
Yeah, you really need to be within about 0.5.
Well, we'll watch the numbers. 9/10 of a second. It's not. Yeah, in fact, it went the wrong direction if it went anywhere.
You could probably do it from 0.6 of a second, but yeah, you got to be the 0.5 second or under range to really get in the tow.
I'll just report that Osterkamp and Kessler run 4th and 5th. We look at them. Nothing happening there. 3 minutes and 30 seconds left of racing. Let's go ahead and look real quick. This is these two guys.
Yeah, Phil Reed trying to fend off Lubomir Morris right now, and Morris is throwing everything at him. But it does seem Phil has a bit of the advantage now, heading down the Ullman Straight.
Those are the two guys that are on the two-pit strategy. Decourtel.
Oh, trouble out of Sunset, and it all ends in tears for him. Boy, that was a hard hit.
That was part Decourtel's problem, and part also responsible was Stefan Larkamp, who just kept putting the pressure on Decourtel, making him race, keeping him honest. Under 3 minutes of racing to go. Our leaders, it's now down to 0.7 of a second. Godin, right there.
I'm going to let you keep an eye on that. I'm going to keep an eye on this battle between Reed and Morris, and maybe even a little bit further back, Vostamaki, Merloso, and Ty McLeod are all kind of tangled up here. Those positions could change. That's for 15th.
Yeah, I think that's fine because I just, as much as I'm pulling for excitement and to have Godin get there, it just doesn't seem like he has it right now. So let's stay on this battle. This is Merloso. Racing right in the middle. He's got McLeod behind him and Vostamaki ahead of him. Eunice has had a eventful race, hasn't he?
Yeah, definitely. At one moment he's been around, another moment he's been in the wall. It's been up and down, but you know what? Eunice done enough to stay on the lead lap. The white flag being unfurled now. One to go here, Soup.
Tierney's leads 0.7 of a second. Godin, try as he might, trying to get there. Equal distance between Tierney in front and Nolden behind. Sean, if I didn't know better, I'd say there's almost like a dirty air push going on right now.
Oh, yeah, definitely. You get up a little bit too close, you're going to lose the downforce on that wing, and you will push.
An interesting little fly in the ointment. Silvio Hurt in his familiar position of being the last car on the lead lap on the last lap. Silvio racing in 21st position.
Phil Reed lets Morris go on the front stretch across the line. Curious.
And with that said, Silvio Hurt actually put the car over, parked it, let the three guys go by. Silvio knows the rules and actually probably not all that excited about starting up on the pole. That's going to put Jeroen J. Cortel on the pole if he can bring it home. Right now, coming out of Le Mans, my goodness. The season started with him being steady, just putting in top fives and podiums. Then he started to pick up some wins, had a couple bad races, but looks like he's going to pick up his third win of the season as he only has to negotiate the sweeping right-hander that is Sunset. Round number 9, feature race, goes to Adam Tierney. Second place, Jean-Francois Godin. Kerry Nolden gets third. Sean, any good battles to watch?
Well, it's still Lubomir Morris and Phil Reed. Morris has the advantage. Phil Reed just behind him, about 0.4 of a second. Indigent to be in right now for both of them.
Both these guys had to pay that speeding penalty, and they've come out together. Morris out in front. Oh, I like the run that Reed has now. Morris is going to have to play defense. Look at him stay to the right. Is there room? He's going to make him go to the top side. Put on the reggae music. If you're going to pass me, you're going to have to do it high. And here comes Reed around the outside. He's on his lid. He's on his lid. He's on his wheels. He's on his lid. He's on his wheels. He's on his lid. He's on his wheels. He gets it going again.
Oh, come on, Phil. Come on. Oh, Stefan Herman's going to get him.
The car won't go straight. He loses the position to Herman.
Going to lose those spots to Vostamaki and McLeod, too.
Oh, and two more. He's going to finish outside of the points, I guess.
Phil's going to wind up 17th, actually, Soup.
That'll get him a few.
Yeah.
Talk about a guy having an eventful race. Phil Reed, my goodness.
Wow.
Couple mistakes, a speeding penalty, and then a barrel roll coming out of Sunset. I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. The best part of any doubleheader is the break in between. It's that perfect blend of the post-race high and the pre-race jitters. What we're going to do right now on GSRC is take a short break, but we will be back to run down the entire finishing order of the feature race that you just saw, talk to some of the drivers, and then return for the 25-minute sprint. Back in a few. Welcome back to the Global Sim Racing Channel's coverage of Apex Online Racing's Formula Renault 2.0 Championship. It's round 9 from Sebring. Time to run down the finishing order of the feature race that just concluded. In a classic wire-to-wire race, Adam Tierney gets the win by 7/10 of a second over Jean-Francois Godin. Try as he might, the Flying Frenchman had nothing for Tierney. Kerry Nolden had to watch the action in front of him as he finishes in third. Renault Osterkamp and gets fourth. Patrick Kessler fifth for those SimRC teammates. Red Devils Christian Tkach gets sixth. Scott Newton, Harrison Finch goes seventh and eighth. Evan Imre behind them, and a great run from the rookie Stefan Larkamp, the second rookie behind Finch today in 10th. Sean?
Okay, then we're going to drop to 11th, Soup, and boy, great racing all throughout the field. Lubomir Morris with a great run today. Stefan Herman, Jonas Fostamaki in 13th. Ty McLeod, that's a recovery run for Ty after trouble way early in this race, 14th. Alexis Marloso, 15th. Sarah Dove, 16th. Phil Reed, 17th. Justin Claessens there, 18th. Daniel Morris, 19th. And Bruno Dometer rounding out the top 20.
Dometer was on the mic a lot. He's the last car on the lead lap. Look for him to start on the pole. Watch out for Phil Reed. He's going to be starting in 4th position as he finishes 17th overall. Let's go to the drivers one lap down. It is Silvio Hurt who sacrificed the pole position to let the leaders go by on the last lap. Then we have Ziv Chardet in 22nd position, rookie making his series debut. Good job from him in the double duck spot. Knut Martinson, Jeroen de Cortel, and Casper Thon go 23rd through 25th. Manuel Hoyer, Enric Andre, 26th and 27th. 28th, 29th, and 30th goes to Lee Robinson, Christoph Holstein, and Tom Van Halman. And I'll just round out the rest of these here. Andrew Greenhall, Hugo Quinier, and the last car, Alexander Baldo. 33 cars on the grid. Sean, do we have anybody to talk to? Oh, you're in the booth. You're scaring them away today.
Apparently so, yeah.
Well, let's talk about Phil Reed for a minute, as he's sitting in 17th. Now, there were 20 cars on the lead lap, so that's going to put him outside of row 2. He's very fast, but my goodness, he had a lot of issues. 2 mistakes, a speeding penalty, and then a barrel roll out of the final corner. Take those things away, and I think he's got a real chance to win this one, right ahead of Sarah Dove.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so. But you know what? Don't discount these some of these rookies here, Soup, that are going to be close to the top. You got Lubomir Morris and Stefan Herman sitting there with their finishes in 11th and 12th. Not a bad spot to be in. I don't know. Well, we'll see. It should be a fun race. The sprint races are always fun. That first trip down into turn 3 and 4 there, that complex 3, 4, and 5, everybody trying to get those positions on the first lap should be pretty interesting, Soup. And of course, then that race down into the safety pin.
Now, remember, there are 2 championships. There's the overall championship, then the Tier 2 championship. But, well, let's take a quick look here and tell you how some of the Tier 2 drivers fared. Patrick Kessler was the top Tier 2 drivers. He came home in 5th position. The next one behind him, now he's going to get second place points, even though he finishes in 7th, and that was Scott Newton. Evan Imre was behind him. The next Tier 2 driver was Renault Osterkamp, who finished in 13th. And finally, the top 5 Tier 2 driver in 14th position was Ty McLeod. So that'll be interesting. How about our rookies? Sean was just going over a few of those. On top rookie, looks like it goes all the way down to Harrison Finch. My gosh, what a great run. 32nd to 8th from him.
Yeah.
And we talked about Stefan Larkamp as well, as he had a 20th to 10th run. So a lot of stuff to look forward to for next season, as those rookies seem very, very impressive.
Yeah, I've been very, very impressed with the rookie crop this season, and boy, big things ahead for them indeed if they stick with it. A new rookie today, and in Ziv Chardet. Understand, I believe our director said in the forums they talked about him being from Israel. So I don't know that we've covered many Israeli drivers. No. And I just want to welcome him to the series and welcome him here on board in iRacing. Always good to talk about someone from a new area.
Oh, yeah, it is always fun when we get somebody from a new region of the globe. All right, well, since we don't have any interviews to talk to any of the drivers because they're getting ready for the race coming up, what we'll do right now is take a short break. Don't go far. We'll be back because we have a 25-minute sprint race where they're going to invert the lead lap cars. No pit stops. It's going to be exciting. Back in a few. Welcome back to the Global Sim Racing Channel's coverage of Apex Online Racing's Formula Renault 2.0 Championship, Round 9 from Sebring. The feature race is in the books. The points have been counted, and now we get to the 25-minute sprint. Crackers, what the heck is this all about?
What is it about, Soup? It's about 25 minutes of madness, sir. We're going to be inverting the results from the last race. Yes, Adam Tierney's going to the back, and, well, Bruno Dometer going to be starting at the front in that one, and we'll do it for 25 minutes. You'll get one fast repair if you need it, but quite frankly, if you've got to come into the pits here and take that fast repair, your chances of winning in the race have been incredibly diminished because there is no pit stop actually needed for this one. There's plenty of fuel on board to get the race done. There's only 12 incidents allowed, and after that, you'll be excommunicated from the track. Soup, you'll be taken out and into the Twilight Zone you go. We did not see that unfold in the first race like I thought we might. So maybe 12 will be just about okay for these 25 minutes. Now, they do take a bit of a reduced haul in points, just about 2/3, and it only pays out the top. How many?
16.
Like 16, right, as opposed to the 20.
Pays to 20 in the first in the feature race, 16 here, and about 2/3 worth. So then they combine the points together. That's why at the beginning of every race during the countdown to the green, we like to show you the big overall points winner, because even though you win a feature race, you get the honor of having a checkered flag if you win the feature or the sprint. But just because you win doesn't mean you were the big points winner for the day. Sometimes a pair of seconds will get you more points than a win and an 8th place. No qualifying going on right now. It is warm-up, and there were 20 cars on the lead lap. So if you're on the lead lap, that's who gets inverted. And I believe we're going to see Bruno Dometer, who's going to be sitting on the pole. Bruno was very vocal during the feature race. Must have had a lot of issues.
Oh, Bruno's always vocal.
Yes, well,
Bruno always has something to say, good or bad. It just seems like we always hear him during a race. He's got a very, very deep voice, Soup. I would definitely say he's a possibly a baritone, huh?
It is so funny because you know, oh, there's Bruno. In comparison to, like, you hear Sarah say something, oh, there's Sarah talking. Of course, obviously, she has a unique sound to her voice.
She does. Very diminutive, as I like to refer to it as.
A lot of talk in the YouTube chat about women on iRacing, and somebody made a good post about there are no men and women in iRacing. There are only two classes of drivers: humans and aliens, and I like that. Yeah, big fan of that comment. Actually, I am too.
We work with one. He's in the booth behind the controls right now. So, although I don't. He
an
thinks
alien or a female? An alien?
No, an alien who feels like his alien status has diminished. But I just say don't believe that for a second.
Yeah, he's a humble alien.
Yes, very humble.
Practice time's going out there. Kerry Nolden's posted the fastest one right now. Manuel Hoyer, and how about this, Bruno Dometer? Now, he's third best so far. Of course, I've only seen 8 times out there, but
yeah, I don't know if it's a good sample set to pull from right now. I think I said it in the first race. 158 is where you want to be right now. Bruno only 159, but it's only one lap. Not a lot about practice here in this second section. I think a lot of these drivers get out here just to make sure everything is still working, Soup.
Now, to the driver's advantage, it is the same time of day and same weather that they had in the feature race. In fact, it is the same weather that they had during the practice run on Thursday, something that the series organizers like to do. They set the weather up. Here's what it's going to be. That's a good idea. It gives everybody a chance to get comfortable with what they're racing. Makes for a better show here on GSRC if you kind of know what you're getting before you come into it, right, John?
It does. And so you mentioned the Thursday practice, and I've got just a second. I want to thank the ladies and gentlemen of the AOR for letting this spare come in there and spare them to death every week. It's a lot of fun. I enjoy getting the practice, but trust me when I tell you I am not in the same league as anybody in this field.
Did you take any of them out?
I did, and I'm sorry, Sarah. Okay, so I'll put that out there now. She said she forgave me, so in the very sweet way that she can, but I don't believe that for a second. I got a feeling I'm getting punted the next time we're on track.
Just remember, the axe forgets, the tree remembers. That's what my dad always told me. Just about 16 seconds left in practice time, and again, Sean and I want to get our GSRC's commentator bonus for getting through the grid. We can't jump in early this time, though. Sometimes we can sneak in and get into the grid before qualifying is done.
Yeah, no
Not
cheating.
able to do it this time.
No cheating here.
So watch us work as we have, I think, about 33 drivers to get through. Hopefully one of them will take their time getting to the grid like Enric Andre did last time, which allows us to get through. Here we go! Get ready for the 25-minute sprint race that's coming up. Here's how they're going to line up to start. On the pole, Bruno Dometer, flanked by Daniel Morris. Sean?
Okay, buddy. And in row 2 is going to be Phil Reed, Sarada,
Alexis Moriloso and Ty McLeod, 5th and 6th.
Eunice Fastamaki and Stefan Herman, they're in 8th.
Row 5, Lubomir Morris and Stefan Lorkamp.
Evan, Real Tough Imre in 11th, and Harrison Finch, 12th.
Bakers on the spot, Scott Newton, flanked by Christian DeCatch.
Patrick Kessler, Renee Osterkamp, 15th and 16th.
Kerry Nolden and Jean-Francois Godin make up the next row.
Row 10, Adam Tierney and Silvio Hurt.
Tierney, the race winner. Ziv Sade in the blackjack position. Knut Martinson, the Orange Viking, in 22nd.
Jeroen Decortel, 23rd. Casper Thron, 24th.
Manuel Hoyer and Lee Robinson after them.
Okay, Christoph Holstein and Tom Van Hoyman, row 14.
Anu Greenhall, Hugo Quinier, and Alexander Valdo, 31 drivers. We get it. Taking the better half out to dinner tonight. Gather up the chicken steak, cover behind the cows. The horses are out of the barn, and it is Bruno Dometer trying to fend off Daniel Morris into corner number 1, ducking down on the inside. That's Phil Reed looking to go from the 4th position. Sarah Dove back watching the whole thing. Reed already has 2nd now as he's got around. Oh, here comes Dove as well. Dove getting in there. Morris having a bad start. Rounding out the top 5 is Alexander Meriloso.
Oh boy, Soup, Casper Thron, trouble at the back.
Oh,
off the
trouble
track.
up front. Phil Reed in the wall. He got into Bruno. We will come back and get that one in a minute, but the man trying to come from 4th to the lead after only 5 corners was Reed, and his bad day continues. Oh, up front, it continues to get messy. Dometer now being challenged. Dove on the outside, making a move on the inside. That is Daniel Morris now. Morris all over the back of Dometer. On him, tighter than a fat man in a scuba suit. Here comes Morris, give him the lead.
Crazy stuff. Sarah Dove fighting from the outside, trying to hang on a second.
Dove able to make it stick. It goes around the outside. Now moves up into 3rd. McLeod looking to get around Dometer for 3rd.
McLeod looking hungry here early, looking for another spot, coming around. Dometer struggles. McLeod going to get it up to 3rd.
Dometer doing a good job of just racing, holding line, and they're trying to get out of the way. Dometer drops back to 4th. This is Alexis Meriloso now trying to get around Dometer. Meanwhile, up in front, leaving, trying to get away is Daniel Morris, Sarah Dove right behind him. And it looks like that was Dometer who got off.
It is.
Put it in the grass. He's going to lose all those positions. Nevertheless, Bruno, you did a good job of staying out of trouble, although Phil Reed might have a different opinion of that statement.
Boy, Dometer going to drop all the way back because of that suit.
Hats off for him making the effort, though. That's what we'd like to see.
I mean, that put him all the way back to 30th. I had to go down my board to find him.
Let's go to the lead, because here comes Dove. She's got her wings tucked in behind her. She's going to try to make the move on the outside. Not going to work as Morris took that defensive line into 1. Look at the run from Dove, though. She's got a shot going into 3. She'll have the preferred position, and I think we're going to have a new leader. They are side by side through 3. Getting out of the way. Morris does a great job of not turning in on her. And a new leader, Sarah Dove.
Wow, Soup. Amazing. More trouble for Alexander Waldo. Knut Martinson get into it out of the exit of Sunset. Waldo's race is already over.
Oh, and a big mess. Descartes 12. There's a huge one right now with Van Hoosen. Yeah, we're looking at the Reed replay right now. Then maybe we can come back and see this one that involved Holstein as well. Well, watch here. This is Reed and Dometer. They get together. This is on lap number 1. Now, I only caught it out of the corner of my eye, so I'm seeing with you for the first time. Boy, couldn't tell from that angle. But Phil Reed certainly got the worst of that one. Sean, there was a big one that involved Holstein. Our director has found it. Maybe you can watch it. I was only able to catch the tail end of it as well. It was a big one, got a lot of drivers.
Yeah, it did, Sue. And it starts with one car, and that's all it takes. In a bad, tight spot of the track. And everybody gets stacked up and funneled into the same area.
Names involved. Holstein, Greenhall got in it. Also in there, Howman got in that one as well. Let's go back live.
Van Hoyman limping around with no wing on the back of that Formula Renault 2.0 right now.
Okay, McLeod just made a move on Daniel Morris. He is now on the tail of Dove. Pardon the pun, that one just came out that way. But look at this. Coming back is Morris. Morris is going to have the preferred route to see if he forces the issue there. He kind of backs out. It just doesn't want to go in too wide in through 1. Watch the run that McLeod has now. A pair of Tier 2 drivers, 3 Tier 2 drivers up in front. Dove, McLeod, Morris, all leading a rookie Marilosa.
This battle behind them is insane, though. Herman to catch.
Oh, it is.
Newton, Larkamp.
Let's go there. Our director is on it. Nothing going on up front. I'll give a yell.
Oh, Alexis Merloso off track.
He was in 4th. Not any longer.
Not anymore.
Got one eye on the lead. I'll give a yell, but right now, let's stay on this battle for 5th. I might take you away real quick, though. Let's go there now. Let's go up front. I think we have a run. Here he comes. McLeod with a move. He's got the inside into Cunningham. I think he's going to be able to finish this one here. Oh, I apologize. Dove on the inside. Can she close the door? No. Now watch the momentum from the top side. From McLeod. Dove not giving it up. Now they come into the right-hander through Tower. They go too wide. Dove can't get the power down from that angle. McLeod gets the move, and now that's going to drop her back. Morris has a chance to get that spot. Not going to happen. Now Sarah wants to tuck in behind Ty. This isn't over. If she can get a good run out of 16, she'll have a chance to get him back. And she looks like that blue car has the speed. They both go very far to the left, out onto that gray part of the racetrack. Now let's see if Dove has anything here. She's about 4 car lengths back. Watching the interval, it's really not shrinking. I think Ty is going to be able to fend her off and get credit for leading lap number 3. Oh, and Hugo Crinier spun.
Trouble. Yeah, he spun there coming out of Le Mans. Spins it cleanly, though. And, boy, Silvio Hurt had a moment getting by him there as he was coming out of the spin. But everything okay.
Stay and look at that battle that we're on right there for 5th. That is trouble.
Man, that is a hornet's nest is what that is.
In 4th is Imre, then Herman behind him to catch Newton, Osterkamp, and this keeps going. Godin and Larkamp the last one. That's 10th. Watching up front as we ride on board here, I'll let you know that McLeod not able to leave Dove or Morris. They are still within striking distance. One mistake. But this is where the excitement... Oh, that's Osterkamp almost gets into that. Go ahead, Sean.
I was just going to say, you have a tendency to maybe overdrive this track just a little bit.
Oh, look at the closing speed from Newton. Oh, my gosh, he got on the binders. I don't know how he stayed off of Christian to catch that time. Woo! Well, watch this one. Watch Newton come in. He comes all the way in. Almost gets into to catch, but he's able to stay off. Great job of racing. I think he might have given him a little bit of help around the corner. Emre, Herman to catch. Race 1, 2, 3. Actually, we'll look correct at 4, 5, and 6.
Oh, trouble for Newton. He's all the way off. It happened right in front of Godin.
Whew.
And now here comes Osterkamp. Osterkamp with an opportunity there to get around Godin.
Yeah, Godin really had to lift. Overcamp was able to get that run. Now coming back, Larkamp.
Ooh.
Oh, the racing here is just incredible. Here comes Godin back inside now of Osterkamp. They work through Sunset. He's in shallow. That's going to leave the inside open. A little dipsy-do, a little hucklebuck, a little hokey-doke going on there by Osterkamp. Oh.
Yeah. Imre. Did Imre just get past Herman? No, Imre held off Herman. Herman tried to make a move at him down into one. It did not happen.
They're holding station on the podiums right now. McLeod's got a little bit of distance. Dove fending off Morris. The excitement is back here that we're watching.
Trouble for Merloso. He does not hit anything, but does spin it.
He was racing
turn 3.
He was racing in 13th at the time. He does a little pirouette, brings the car back out. He loses about 3 spots.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It was out of turn 1 where he lost it, but he is back underway. Doesn't hit anything.
Still inside the points. Going to get a single point right now. Oh, let's go to second. Maybe get a replay on this one. Morris was going to make a run on Dove and decided better of it, and he goes off track so that he didn't get into the tail feathers of Sarah. Watch this one here. Oh, this is great. On board, this is a great camera that our director has on us. This is either hit her or go straight. Did a little bit of what my dad used to call Spartacus driving, where you sacrifice yourself for the benefits of others.
The needs of the one outweigh the needs of the many.
Too. Spock will do as well. Hey. Look at that. Oh, I love the low angle that Dougie Beard gives us there as they come right at you. Imre involved in that to catch. Herman, Godin, Osterkamp. We're looking at to catch right there in the familiar black and red and white machine. There's Herman in 6th. Let's go here with the chopper cam for a minute. Look at this on top.
Let's get to the chopper. I had to do it, Soup.
There you go. Look at the line that Imre tried to take there. He's going to lose the position to catch. Now he's side by side with Herman. Again, the action corners have been 3, 4, and 5.
Morris with a big mistake coming out of turn 2. Whoa, he almost hits the wall and avoids it. Morris was trying to take over Kessler. Got it out in the grass. Almost just completely wrecks the car.
We'll watch it on the replay, Sean. You go ahead. Call it. You saw it live.
He's just going to run it out wide right here, which is easy to do coming out of turn 1 or coming out of turn 2 there. And he almost hits that wall, just barely avoids it. Death to a few cones there. We're sorry.
When we come back live, let's go to 6th position. Imre just had a bad corner exit. He's going to lose 2 spots to Godin. And that is Osterkamp now racing in 7th, trying to get around the Frenchman in 6th.
Yeah, I don't know that he's going to be overtaking Godin. He's all he's done is pick up positive spots here, Soup. He's up 12 to get himself into 6th right now.
Let's come back to Sebring next week as well. My gosh, this track has been putting on some great racing.
Yeah, and I think the field was rather mixed on their opinion of this track. You had a sect of drivers out there just totally not on board with this track for this car because of its bumpiness and the fact that all 4 wheels leave the pavement regularly here. And then you had another group of drivers who really, really love this challenge. And I'll tell you what, we've seen some great racing throughout both of these races today, and it continues.
Kessler making a move on the inside through Sunset on Imre.
Imre could just as easily get it back right here. Not at the line, but, well, could he get it here down in 1?
My goodness, and there's Kessler's going to be able to fend him off. And again, watch the excitement as they come up into 3, 4, and 5. It's going to happen again. That's Imre trying to find a way as they're going to force drivers to take a weird racing line through this combination of corners. Let's see if the traffic will allow us to stay on this for a while longer. We'll see what happens as they head down into the safety pit. I don't know if Kessler or Imre's close enough this time. Not going to happen. They go in the order they're racing: Kessler, Imre, and Larkamp. Boy, what about Stefan Larkamp? Great series of races from him in 10th position.
Yep. And the battle for second is heating up again. Saradov under attack from Daniel Morris.
Remember, Morris made one attempt. It didn't go well. He had to take the car straight, so he didn't get into the back of Dove. He's back at it again. All this going on behind Ty McLeod, who has checked out. The Tier 2 driver has about a 2.5-second lead over Dove.
And Soup, Lubomir Morris has finally overtaken Scott Newton. It took him about 5 laps to get it done. And that puts him up to 11th. Newton dropped to 12th. Newton fight back, though. Not having any of it here.
Big names that have had to call it a day: Knut Martinsen, Christoph Holstein, Kerry Nolden, Phil Reed.
Here we go. Here's the move. Newton taking a look on the outside, coming down the Ullman Straight. It'll be a battle side by side in Sunset here. Boy, what a great line by Morris, but Newton's going to fight back, trying to undercut him here. They come back to the start-finish line, give it to Morris across.
That goes on. As you say, Morris, that is Morris, so we get confused on that. That is Morris, M-O-R-I-C. That is in contrast to Daniel Morris, M-O-R-R-I-S, racing in third right now, who is all over Saradov. Up.
Yeah, Herman's going to have trouble, Soup, coming out of turn 4, or turn 5, actually. And he's going to head right off into the barrier. Watch this.
That's right in front of Jean-Francois Gaudin and Rene Osterkamp.
I think Herman's going to get a little bit too much curb and then a little bit too much back to the pedal there on exit. And that's going to put him right off into that tire barrier and end what was a pretty good race there going for him.
Okay, I got a story for you. If we're looking there at Saradov right now, she is doing her best to keep Daniel Morris behind her. But here's the real story. The big name, here's your top-tier driver, Christian Tkach, is beginning to run these guys down. He's only about a second behind Morris right now. And he's bringing with him Francois Gaudin as well, and Osterkamp. So right now, 4th, 5th, and 6th, looking to run down 2nd and 3rd. 9 minutes of racing to go. Sarah and Daniel have got to get going. One guy back there saying, slow him down, guys, is Ty McLeod. McLeod only has a 5-second lead over Tkach.
Yeah, and with 5 laps to go here, when it comes across the stripe, that could disappear quickly.
Let's look at 5th right now. We're on it. This is Gaudin trying to hold off the red, white, and blue car, the French colors of Jean-Francois Gaudin. Oh, I think Gaudin's going to get it as he moves to the inside. He's going to have the preferred line into one. Get that finished up quickly, and he's wide enough that he can get a good exit out of one. And that'll get him a little closer to Morris.
Boy, Francois has had some race, Soup.
Yep.
Really been on the hammer since the green flag dropped. No one has dispatched him. He has been the dispatcher.
He was working the car there as it got a little bit loose on him, but he keeps it going straight. 0.7 of a second to Morris. Dove with about a second lead over Morris right now. And our leader, Ty McLeod. Hey, what about me? Yeah, I see you, Ty. You're out there 2.5 seconds out in front.
Yeah,
want a little more screen time? Slow down.
He's not dancing a jig yet, though. Trust me. He's all about being all on top of that wheel right now. He can still see cars in his mirror. That's not a comfortable feeling.
What a fun race today. The racing has been good. Our director, Amjad Yaman, has been able to show you battles for an extended amount of time. So instead of showing you a broadcast that looks like a music video.
Soup, I will have you know that I directed and produced several music videos back in the 80s, and I'm taking offense to that, okay?
Give me a cut that's more than 1.5 seconds, please.
Every beat.
That's right.
We cut on the beat. Okay.
Let's look at Morris right now. Here comes Godin. He's got to run into sunset. Is he going to force the issue? Nope. He's going to hang off and wait. Let's see what he does on exit. Morris comes around. Godin as well. Now Godin tucks to the inside. That's going to put Morris on the outside, where he will stay. Godin up to third. Morris now has his teammate behind them, of Christian to catch. Sara's gap back to third. 1 second, 6 minutes of racing left. Now, we talked earlier in the feature race when I talked about Dove's racing technique where she won't defend. That's when she's racing for 13th or 14th. Sara's a racer. When it comes to racing for second, look for her to be a little more aggressive here and try to hold off Godin now.
Yeah, she's not
right.
pulling over for Francois here. Not at all.
Not when it involves a podium. Yeah, that's a... Let's stay up here a little bit. Osterkamp makes a dive down there from 6. Good racing up front. Apologies to the rest of the field. But for the final 5 minutes or so, we may focus a lot of our attention up here. Right now, Sara Dove's biggest fan is Ty McLeod, asking Dove to hold back Godin as long as she can. 3.6 seconds, the interval from McLeod to Godin, the last time across the start-finish line. They work through Le Mans. Oh, Godin with a great run. He might be too far back. Let's see if he forces the issue into sunset. What line will Dove take? She's going to take her half out of the middle. Here comes Godin, and there was no way. If he would have went wide, it wouldn't have worked. Oh, Dove really misses the apex. She gets it blown up. Woo.
That was close.
I thought she had the wall coming right at her. She got it blown up.
I think she thought she had the wall on that one.
If you're an iRacer, you've all been on that line. This keeps going. The car will not get there. She races in third now. Godin up to second. The interval to the lead, 2.6 seconds. Morris has his teammate behind him up to catch. And Osterkamp as they race 4th, 5th, and 6th. Oh, who is that off? Oh, that's the lap car of Tom Van Helmen getting out of the way. I think, actually, Tom may have blinked away into the Twilight Zone as we got our first driver. Yep. All right, let's go to third. We're looking at it. This is Dove trying to hold back a string of cars. And all of a sudden, she was racing for second. It could get ugly here quick. Here comes Morris.
She's just got to be patient here.
Too wide. This is actually good news. Morris does a good job of getting the car going straight.
Well, and it makes a mistake there, Morris does, and allows the catch to get around. And Osterkamp, they drop Morris.
Morris has almost got into Dove twice. Let's give him a tip of the hat there, as he's done a good job of racing hard but not causing an issue. Here comes the catch. Dove takes a racing line, comes across. Not this time, Christian. Now that wide exit, they go through Le Mans. Here they go. He's about 2 car lengths back, and the him I'm talking about is Christian to catch. Former champion. He's got to run. Sara Dove taking the inside. He's going to make the catch, do it on the top. They come around.
Sara cutting that a lot tighter that time there, Sue.
To catch, staying on the outside like the Flintstone cat. Now he's jumped back in, and it's Sara knocking on the door saying, let me in. Right now they continue to go into corner number, well, that would be corner 1 now. Dove able to hold him off.
And he's gone. He's in the wall. Tough break there. Poor Christian.
Giving Sara everything he had and a bit more, maybe a bit too much.
Yeah, and you know what, though? Sara did a great job of holding her line there and keeping it tight, not leaving the door open for him. Ty
McLeod saying, yes, that's just one driver he has to worry about. Newton has had an issue.
More trouble for Newton. Yeah.
Yeah, he keeps it off. He's going to have a little time in the Florida Alfalfa. There we have it. When we come back live, let's go to third. Sarah Dove now being challenged. To catch is gone, but her troubles are long from over, as it is the SimRC Prime driver, Renee Osterkamp, all over her.
He's trying. He's trying. But again, Sarah, keeping the line tight, being defensive where she can be, making it really, really hard to pass for Osterkamp.
Boy, he's really close, so if he can get any kind of run out of Lamar. Oh, and he does. This is going to be over quick.
Sarah, again, doing a good job there, being a little defensive.
Right out of the middle.
They're going to take the white flag this time by, Soup.
Yeah, you know what? Osterkamp was actually almost a little close to Dove that he didn't get the run usually. Oh, Sarah doesn't want anything to do with that wide line through Sunset, though. But she fights back. Look at the run. She gets it. She gets it back.
Big mistake by Osterkamp, and Sarah Dove back to third.
You put your right foot in, you put your right foot out, you do the hokey dokey, and you find yourself back in third. Sarah Dove.
Oh, this last lap's going to be something to watch.
Stay on this one. Our leaders are pretty well safe. McLeod is under. Well, he's a little bit of a challenge from Godin.
Yeah, I don't know. Francois might have something for him here.
The interval, 0.7 of a second. We'll keep an eye on this. Let's go to third. Another attack from Osterkamp. We can get this done real quick. As they go into the hairpin, Dove will have the preferred position. Osterkamp will have the momentum around the outside. The blue car is Dove. The yellow car is Osterkamp. Dove does not close the door. Great racing.
Love it. Love it.
Osterkamp could not get around. He fights back. He's now side by side again this time. We'll stay on this one. They work through Cunningham. He's on the outside this time, looking to get a drive off. They continue to race. Dove gets the power down. She fends him off. What a race. Our leaders are heading into Bishop right now. That's not close enough to care about. You can see it right there. It's still about 10 car lengths. Side by side, Dove and Osterkamp again. This time, Osterkamp on the high side. I think he's going to get it. He does.
Wow.
As they go into Le Mans. Meanwhile, back up to the leaders. They're down the Ullman Straight. Look at this. Here comes Godin. He's got to run. 2 car lengths. 1 car length. He dives to the outside. He can't get there. A great racing line from McLeod. I thought he had the momentum. Is there time before the start-finish line? There might be. Here comes Godin. He gets into the back. He loses momentum. He bounces it off the wall. The car is rolling backwards at about 3 miles an hour.
Sorry.
He's going to do it in reverse. He's got the car going backwards. Dove, and here comes Osterkamp. Dove gets second. Osterkamp gets third.
Dove gets second. Dove gets second. She picks up Osterkamp in Sunset. Oh my. Oh my.
We're going to watch Godin, and maybe it might be fun to watch on board here. He's racing backwards. Boys and girls, you're looking, here they come. This is the blue car of Dove, the yellow car of Osterkamp as they go by. Dove gets the win, or the second place finish. Osterkamp gets third. Godin gets fourth.
Soup, I don't ever remember calling a finish like this in my now 4 years of broadcasting. This is one of the more insane ones I think I've ever seen.
You gotta love the AOR. Poor Ty McLeod has no idea what went on behind him as he gets the win. Ty, congratulations. What we're going to do right now is take a short break, catch our breath, have a sip of tea with honey. We'll be back to run down the entire grid of the sprint race, talk to some of the drivers, and put a lock here on Sebring. Back in a few. Welcome back to the Global Sim Racing channel's coverage of Apex Online Racing's Formula Renault 2.0 Championship. Round 9 from Sebring. Yes, this was round 9, just one single round. There was enough action for 4 or 5 rounds. Let's run down the finishing order of the sprint race that just took place. Ty McLeod did not go wire to wire, but he came from 6th position to get the win. He was able to hold off Jean-Francois Godin at the very end. Now, there's 7 gears in the Formula Renault. Jean-Francois Godin, there was an 8th. He needed a 2nd gear in reverse to get a little more speed. He could have got a podium spot. Sarah Dove able to nip Oosterkamp across the line. Here's the interval. The interval was by, about 1/100th of a second over Oosterkamp, and by about 2/10 of a second over Godin, who finished going backwards. Daniel Morris gets 5th. Patrick Kessler comes home in 6th. Evan Imre, Stephen Larkamp, 7th and 8th. 9th and 10th, Lubomir Morris and Hugo Coignet. Sean?
Well, a pretty tough race for everyone behind. Adam Tierney will finish 11th. Christian Tkach, 12th. Silvio Hurt, 13th. Ziv Sade, 14th. 15th, Alexis Merloso. Bruno Dometer with a 16th place finish. And boy, tough luck there at the beginning for Bruno. Jonas Fastamaki, 17th. Casper Thron up to 18th. 19th, Stefan Herman. And Jerome Decourtel going to finish 20th, Soup.
20 cars finished on the lead lap in the feature. 20 cars finished on the lead lap in the sprint race. The blackjack spot, 1 lap down, Scott Newton, double duck, Manuel Hoyer, Tom Van Houwen in 23rd, 24th, and 25th, Phil Reed and Harrison Finch. Rounding out the next 5 drivers, Kerry Nolden, Andrew Greenhall, Christoph Holstein, Knut Martinson, Lee Robinson, the last car on the grid, Alexander Valdo. Okay, it is time for interviews, and Sean, I'll let you go first. Who would you like to talk to?
No, Soup. I want you to go first today, and I want you to talk to Sarah Dove.
Let's bring her in right here. Having the race of her AOR career. Sarah, congratulations. What a great performance you put on there at the end as first to catch and Oosterkamp. We're all over you.
I'm still shaking. The whole last lap, I was just shaking, just trying everything to try and stay ahead of him.
He got around you, and then we had to go cover the lead as Godin was making a run on the lead, and we come back. Sure enough, you had a run back on Oosterkamp coming out of Sunset.
Yeah, I was just following behind him. Just like saying, come on, trying to get the slipstream. And just as the turn-in came, I was right at his wheel, so I just went for it. And luckily, I didn't kill anyone. And then I just hear slow car ahead and go around the final corner, and Godin is driving backwards.
Did you think your race was over when you took that creative racing line through Sunset? Boy, we thought you were going to get to the wall.
It's when you get out to that bit, it's extremely bumpy, and in this car, it's just almost impossible to control. But
well, it was congratulations. You put on a great show. You held off a couple. They kept coming at you. And sure enough, even though Godin got around you, you end up getting him at the start-finish line. You held off Oosterkamp, and you lost. And also, Tkach made a run on you, and he couldn't get by you either. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Get some sleep. Sarah Dove, 2nd place in the sprint, her best result ever in this series. Okay, who are we going to talk to now? Let's go ahead and who do you want, Sean?
Let's talk to our old friend Evan Imre. Evan, quite an exciting day here at Sebring. A pretty good race for you there in the feature. You came up 3 spots to finish in the top 10 there in 9th. What was it like during this crazy sprint race?
Well, the sprint race, well, I mean, Oh, the first lap for me, to begin with, I overtook a couple of people. I felt like a man possessed out there. It was unbelievable. And then I was up in the top 5, and I was defending from Herman and Tkach, and Tkach passed me, and that let the cars behind me past. So I was on a downward spiral, but then I noticed there was a fight ahead. And because I've got Sarah in my Discord chat, and I've got quite a few of them in the Discord chat, they were getting pretty excited in there. And I heard Sarah got in on the line. He was reversing across the line, which is quite funny. But my race, I couldn't hold on to that train at the front, and my tier 2 rival Kessler finished just in front of me, which is disappointing. But 7th in the sprint's pretty good.
Yeah. It's a great points day, man. 9th and the 7th. You racked it up today.
Yeah, the first race was I was fighting with Finch at one point, and kind of fell off the back of him at the end of the race. But considering how rubbish practice went, 9th and 7th is pretty amazing for me.
Well, listen. It's going to be an amazing replay for you to go back and watch. I mean, the finish of the sprint race is about as exciting a finish as we've ever seen. So definitely bookmark that and go back and check it out. Yeah. Where the season's, it's hard to believe that the season's actually winding down now. It's been so much fun. Sebring, I was saying during the race that it seems like the AOR field was kind of mixed. Some of you really liked the track. Some of you were rather opposed to it because of the bumpiness and just it not being a good fit for the Formula Renault. Where do you fall on it? What do you think?
Oh, I hate it. I was fiddling with the setup so much on Thursday that I couldn't get the right balance between being able to cope with the bumps, turn 1 especially, getting the traction out of that hairpin, and just general reaction when you first turn in. The car didn't really respond, but it's really difficult out there. So if you kept it on the road, you were bound to get some good points, to be honest.
Well, and a good day it was for you, sir. And I'll tell you what, man, we look forward to seeing you next week. We can only hope for more of this every week. Thanks again, Evan, for being one of those drivers that just put on a great show for us today.
No problem, Sean. Just amazing racing going on right now. So look forward to it next week.
All right, buddy. We look forward to talking to you again, and we'll see you soon.
See you later.
All right, Soup. Cheers to Evan Imre. And I think you've caught up with Scott Newton.
I do. Scott, real quickly, we'll get into 2 more interviews here. Kind of a rough day for you.
Yeah, in terms of the sprint race, yeah, it's definitely pretty rough. But qualified, I think outside of the top 20. So that was pretty detrimental to the start of my race. But luckily I was able to capitalize on everyone else's mistakes and managed to get up into the top 10 before the pit stop. And then a couple more people had issues in the second stint. So managed to top 10 in the feature. And then in the sprint race, mainly fighting in the mid-pack, was pretty crazy out there, especially with my net code. Surprised there wasn't any more bigger incidents than there was, if there was any. But I had a bit of contact with Tkach towards the middle part of the race, unfortunately, and that kind of damaged the front wing, and that sort of put pay to my race. And then 2 laps to go from the end, I got DQ'd just due to incident points. So a bit unfortunate that way, but not very much of a fan of this track. So just looking forward to next week, to be fair.
Yep. Well, a lot of the drivers aren't, but sometimes comfortable drivers don't always put on the best show. Boy, you guys were uncomfortable, but it was some great racing today. Congratulations on getting through it at least, and we'll catch you next time.
No worries. Cheers for that, Bill.
Scott Newton. Last interview. Let's talk, Sean, to our feature race winner. They kept coming at him, but he was able to hold him off. Go ahead, Sean. Talk to Ty McLeod.
Yeah, Ty, great win for you there in the feature race. Talk a little bit about that. Talk about this track and what you think of it.
track's really tough, but it's brilliant. Always throws up a great race. It was the same, I think it was either last season or a couple of seasons ago, but no, it's a great track. Really tests you, a lot of bumps, and every corner seems to be a late apex, so it's tough to get them right, especially getting them right every lap. But no, this race in particular was brilliant. I think starting from 6th, I think Bruno had a bit of a moment, I think, with Phil. He seemed to disappear. Then yeah, just caught up to Daniel and Sarah, and it was a good race. Daniel didn't really put up much of a fight, but Sarah did, and that was fun. I mean, like, going too wide through the twisty section was a lot of fun. I mean, like, it wasn't without its trials, though. I mean, I had surgery on my hand last week, so I mean, the races were quite difficult.
I would say so. What would you have to have done to the hand there, if you don't mind me asking?
I had 2 tendons reattached and a ligament reattached.
Oh,
right on my dominant hand. So,
yeah, that can't be any fun to drive with that. Wow. Well, that makes your effort seem even more Herculean there. Finishing first, no easy task here. You fought through traffic to get that done. What a finish in this sprint race.
It puts a bit of a bigger smile on my face anyway.
Yeah, well, listen, I'll tell you what, thanks for putting on a great show today. It was so much fun to watch. We can't wait until next week already, to be honest with you. You're going to be in that race? You pretty sure?
Oh, yeah. If I've managed to do these 2, then I'll definitely be in for the rest of the season.
Well, that's great. We look forward to seeing you then, Ty. Take care of the hand. Rest up, my friend. We'll see you then.
Thanks very much, man. You too.
All right, and our cheers to Ty McLeod and his big victory today, Soup. Man, that was so much fun. It's like, how do I top that for the rest of the night? What do I do?
Yeah, I know.
I'm just going to go to bed.
These guys are lucky in Europe. They can go to bed right now. We still have to try to figure out how to top that for the rest of our day out here in the Americas. Ty McLeod, you can hear him talk about the Tier 2 championship that's very much he's into right now. Sarah Dove finishing second today in that Tier 2 championship as well. Okay, let's go ahead and thank all the people that make this possible. And man, we are very thankful that we are allowed to broadcast this great event. Apex Online Racing always puts on a great show. Thanks to the organizers of the Formula Renault 2.0 League for all that they do and the members who support the broadcast. We know you have a lot of choices when you fly. Thanks for flying GSRC. Thanks to the company's equipment and software that you see on the screen right now. The original music you've heard today, well, that's Casey Lawn and Eric Ekholm. See the screen for how to contact each of them.
Soup, the AOR returns next week for round 10, Friday the 17th of November, Autodromo Internazionale Enzo Iadino Ferrari Grand Prix. Yes,
Very
sir,
nice.
We're there. GSRC will be there to bring you all the action. We hope you join us. For more information about GSRC, your best bet is GlobalSimRacingChannel.com. We're also on Twitter at GSR Channel. And find us on Facebook, Global Sim Racing Channel. All one word. Just type that in. You'll find us. I promise.
After your pronunciation of the track, I feel like ordering a pizza now. That was very good. It got me in the mood. On behalf of the man whose voice you just heard, Sean Ambrose, our director, Amjad Yaman, whose voice you never hear, and our camera artist, Dougie Beard, who you never hear at all or see much of, but he does a lot, we'd like to thank all of you for watching today. With that said, we're off to have fun. Storm of the Castle. So until next time, race clean, race hard, and we'll see you on the track.